take questions for Coach Van Horn. Coach, ready when you are.
Yeah, just what a wild first game of a regional. The ball was really traveling today, and there was a lot of clutch swings by both teams. And, very rarely you get out to an 8-run lead, and you see it disappear. A lot of times that isn't good for your team, and maybe get a little demoralized or whatever. But our team hung in there and, kept saying, hey, we got a 7-inning game, 8-inning or 6-inning game ahead of us. Just keep going. And they did it. But, Gabe came in and settled down a little bit. Christian got through, I think, what was that, the 4th inning, and then Gabe came in after that. And could have gone back out in the 9th. We were just trying to save him some pitches. And even before we had scored the runs, we had already made the decision to take him out. So, it was one of those games, if you give them something, they're gonna score. They kicked a couple balls for us, and we ended up scoring. When we walked them, they scored. And, it's a really good offensive team.
All right, questions for the student athletes. Bob?
Yeah, I guess for the guys that had 2 home runs, Ben and then Hudson, you talk about the balls you hit and just about the offense overall today. There, Andy Sawyer's kind of made a joke. He wants to talk to the guy that said Arkansas couldn't hit because he'd heard that was a narrative, and then you guys put up 17 today.
So. Yeah, I'm just proud of the way we competed at the plate. We've been working hard all season. I feel like we were kind of due for a good game like that. So I'm proud of the group.
Yeah, I just feel like this is a big team win for us. We know our pitchers are always going to throw well, and just to respond the way that we did, down 8-0 or up 8-0, them tying it 8-8. I just feel like that was a huge team win for us.
And like Dave said, a lot of teams, if they blow an 8-run lead, it's not good. But you guys have responded in a big way. What was the key to that, and kind of what was the mindset when it goes from 8-0 to 8-8 pretty quick?
Yeah, I just feel like for us, we talked as a group. I feel like next man up mentality. Trusting the guy behind you and in front of you to get the job done. It might not always work out, but just knowing your guys have your back is huge for us.
I think you nailed it on the head.
Gabe, I think season high for pitches for you today. Just, first off, how do you feel? Have you been kind of building up all season to this postseason, hoping that maybe this could be the run where you start working like that this many innings?
Yeah, I feel good. It was a steady build-up all year, and the coaches did a great job on prepping me for that, and so I think now it's kind of time to start going a little bit and stretching it out and trying to help the team by eating up some innings.
Ben, I think all 3 of your hits to right field, even you had that foul ball that was so close, a heavy pull. Was that part of the approach today from you, thinking you could maybe do some damage pulling and, kind of maybe some softer fastballs today that you're seeing?
No, I just feel like I was trying to hit it wherever they were pitching it, and for me, just competing with 2 strikes. Both of my home runs were with 2 strikes, and it was more so just competing, trying to put a ball in play, doing whatever I could to help the team.
Gabe, there was that part in the top of the 7th where they cut the lead back to 1 off that RBI double, but you were able to get around it. How are you feeling in the top 7 with 1 out?
Yeah, I felt good. The whole outing, I felt good, and they were hitting the balls I was throwing, and so I just kept filling it up and trusting my stuff and trusting the guys behind me, and just had to keep going.
Ben, I don't think you'd homered since like mid-April. You had the one that was robbed at the SEC tournament. Do you feel like your power? You have more power right now, or has there been any adjustment to you to get that power?
No, I've just been staying consistent with my work and what I do. I'm just keeping the same approach, and if it goes out, it goes out. But just stacking ABs is all I'm trying to do.
Yeah, when it starts off 8-0, I don't know if we're expecting to see you in the 6th inning. Kind of what was your mindset coming in early like that and having to, kind of get things back under control?
Yeah, Coach Hobbs told me before the game crazy stuff happens in the postseason. So from the first pitch, I think we were all ready to go into the game, and we just had to stay locked in the whole time, just staying prepared in the bullpen. Once they called your name, go out and succeed.
I think you threw about 60 pitches, maybe 61. Would you be available? I know it's Dave's call, but I mean, do you feel like you could be ready to pitch again if you need to?
Yeah, I feel great.
And just for you two guys, I mean, when it's 8-0, were you thinking it was going to, like, I guess Matt was right about it getting crazy, but were you thinking, hey, we got the game under control, or were you thinking you still had work to do?
Yeah, I mean, we're up 8-0, so I for sure You know, I thought we had a good lead, but no lead safe in the postseason. I think we did a great job. Just keep adding to it. You know, we kept stacking ABs, and we're able to score more runs.
And as a catcher, I think, you know, they cut it 10-9. I think they had the tying runs on. I think they had a chance to tie it or even take the lead, but Gabe was able to get out of that. I think he struck out the side. Eventually, just what'd you think of how he got out of that jam?
You know, I feel like it's kind of something we've all gotten used to. He's been dominant all year. You know, he's only a freshman, but you wouldn't think so just talking to him, you know, looking at his poise up on the mound. You know, he's done an awesome job for us.
Anybody can kind of take this one, but just how good was it to see Kendall's performance today? I mean, a team captain and the way he's been struggling. I mean, how much of a boost is it if he can kind of get going for you guys here?
Yeah, we all know if we want to go to where we want to go, Diggs is going to be right at the front of it. We weren't worried at all. He's a great baseball player. It was good to see him get some knocks today, and it's really going to help this team.
Dave, Andy was in here saying in the middle of the game after they tied it back up, he was thinking they were going to win. What were you thinking?
I was thinking the same thing. We were going to win. But, you know, basically I was saying what I was thinking to the players. You know, I was telling the guys that were in the dugout when they hit the 3-run homer to tie it. You know, I walked up and down the dugout and I said, when the guys get off the field, you guys got to tell them we're fine. We still have, you know, 5-6 innings to play, and it's 0-0, 1-1, whatever you want to say. It's tied. We got a lot of game left, and I thought the dugout did a good job there, and you know, we were all kind of talking that language in there.
And a bunch of hits, a lot of home runs. Just what you think of the offense and how they picked up the pitching today?
I thought the offense was really good. You know, the first inning, you know, we only scored a run, but we hit a lot of. We took some really good swings. Made him throw some pitches, and you know, then kind of got it going again there in the second. Got into their bullpen pretty quick, which was always good to see. But credit to them, man. Their offense came back and took a couple walks, and I don't know, maybe a home run or a double home run or whatever. But it was a great job by our offense. Really, the whole game. We're up 8. It's tied. We end up winning by 8. It didn't feel like that, but it was really good job of continuing to play the game and have good at bats.
Dave, after they tied it up 8-8, you came back that next half inning, and y'all got back-to-back home runs. Just not only how big was it not only to answer, but for one of those home runs to be also Kendall Diggs?
Yeah, it fired up the dugout a lot. You know, just to even score one after they had, you know, just punched in 4 to tie it up there in the 5th, and then we ended up getting another home run. You know, feeling pretty good, and then they came back. Obviously, they're in the 7th, and I think they went single, double, or double, single, whatever it was, and then had a chance to tie it or take the lead. But, yeah, that was big for us to score when they had just scored those runs.
And Kendall, he had told us yesterday that he felt like he was getting ready to turn a corner. Is that something you saw from him as well?
Oh, yeah. Kendall and I have had a couple talks. We talked at our first practice back and called him over in the outfield, and we told him where I wanted to hit him against righties, and I told him where I was going to hit him against left-handers, and that he needed to be in the middle of driving in runs, and that's what he did.
Coach, just what were your thoughts on Gabe Gackel's performance today?
Pretty good. You know, the first hitter he threw, he walked him on, 4 pitches, 5 pitches, and I'm thinking, wow, this is something else, because he doesn't walk a lot of people. And then he got it together, and just his best inning was the 8th, I think. He struck out the side. And again, he could have gone back out, but we thought if we're going to have any opportunity to bring him back in this thing, we got to get him out of there. And we had a 5-run lead, and you know, then we ended up with an 8-run lead, so it worked out and got to get Faraday out there. He threw the ball really well. But to answer your question, I thought Gabe was really good. It was one of those games that no lead was safe, and you know, for some reason, the hitters were all about it.
And he looks like a veteran when he's going out there and throwing. Do you think being in those tight spots of the situation, going out there and getting out of jams, do you think that's prepared him for that sort of situation?
It's prepared him throughout the year to pitch in this type of situation. We brought him in a bunch of different roles. We brought him in to kind of slow the game down for us in the 6th when it was getting out of control. We brought him in to close games with a 1-run lead. we're kind of building him up to possibly get a start if we get to play enough. And we're also going to get him ready to be a starter next year.
Do you have an update on Peyton Holt?
Yeah, he cramps up all the time. I don't know what else to tell you. The guy drives me nuts. He's already coming up to me. I'm good to go. I said, yeah, go get an IV and we'll talk later. That's basically what I said. Yeah.
And what did you see from Molina and McIntyre today? Because it felt like there were some really good moments, and of course they just kind of couldn't finish the job there.
Yeah. Well, Molina throws 4 balls eye high, start the game, and then he goes out of the stretch and he starts dotting it up. It's pretty good. Gets through that inning, gets through the second, I think. Looks good, and we're thinking, okay. But what didn't happen is he couldn't throw a breaking ball for a strike. Changeup was okay. Threw it for a strike, but could not spin the ball near the zone. And, they punched in 4 after we just scored 7. And that's got to be the shutdown inning. We shut down that inning. We scored another couple runs, the game might be over. But they climb right back in it. So I liked his stuff. He gives up a home run on a 3-1 or a 3-2 fastball, and the hitter knew exactly what was coming. I think maybe to get to 3-2 was a changeup. So he's thinking, now I'm going to throw me another changeup. He can't throw the breaking ball. I'm just going to cheat on this fastball, and he did, and he hit his 18th home run of the year. And so, yeah, it's it's there. I mean, we saw it for a minute, and then it disappeared. McIntyre, he just made a mistake. It's a 1-2 count. Ball's supposed to be down in the dirt, and he left it down the middle, mid-thigh, and the ball hit the net. And, those are mistakes that you can't make, especially on a day like this when the ball just seems to be flying.